Hi, come on in. Welcome to Mimi's Reading Corner. Have a seat and get comfortable. I want to read some more to you about the Creation Week. Last time we left off on day 3. Let's start with day 4. On the 4th day appeared the sun to light the day, and the moon and stars to light the night. These not only divide the day from the night, but they are for signs and for seasons, and for days and for years. The seasons, spring, summer, autumn, you might call it fall, and winter are marked by the earth's journey around the sun. Now next were made the birds and the insects and the fishes, everything that flies in the air or swims in the sea. The birds flitted busily in the branches, choosing their nesting places. The insects flew from flower to flower, and the waters were filled with active, moving life. This was on the 5th day. Moving along, on the 6th day were made all kinds of 4-footed beasts, cattle and sheep, cats and dogs, lions and bears, and many others. The creeping things also, such as snails and lizards and caterpillars, were made on this day. But there was yet something to do. God had separated the light from the darkness. He had set the sun and the moon in the heavens, and studded the sky with the countless shining stars. He had gathered the waters together and filled the life with the rivers and the lakes and the seas, and he had covered the earth with grass and trees and flowers, and had filled the air with the sweet songs of birds. But he had made this beautiful world for a purpose. It was to be the home of man, made in God's own image. When all was ready, God made man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils, that's his nose, the breath of life, and he became a living soul. He could think about wonderful things around him, and he could express his thoughts in words. He could move about and do things. He could speak and sing and pray. He was just and honest. His body was perfectly sound and well, and his heart was pure. The Lord called the man Adam and gave him dominion or power over the fish of the sea, over the fowl, those are the birds of the air, and over every living thing in all of the earth. That means that all the animals would obey Adam, and that none of them would harm him in any way, or even try to. On his part, Adam would do nothing to hurt or annoy these innocent, trusting creatures. Then God caused all the beasts to pass before Adam, and whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. For the Lord gave Adam wisdom to name every living creature just right. But among all these animals, there was not one with whom Adam could talk, and whom he could love. So the Lord made a woman, Eve, and gave her to be Adam's wife. Adam and Eve were to be the first father and mother of all who should live on the earth. The whole earth was like a lovely garden. It was much more beautiful than we ever see it now. Even in early summer, when the fields are clothed with living green, the trees have shaken out their tender leaves, and the air fragrant with the perfume of millions of flowers, there was not a dead leaf or twig to mar the beauty of the fresh, young earth. But the Lord chose one spot to be the special home of man. Here he planted a garden, and in it he put every tree and plant that was pleasant to the sight or good for food. In the middle of the garden was the tree of life, a wonderful tree which we learn from the Bible is now in heaven. We are told that this tree bears 12 kinds of fruit, and its leaves are for the healing of the nations. As long as Adam and Eve should obey and love the one, meaning God, who had made them, they were to be allowed to eat the fruit of this tree. The tree of the knowledge of good and evil was also in the garden. Adam and Eve were not to be idle in their home or just sitting around. They were to dress the garden, to keep it, to take care of it. And as they worked, they would think of the wonderful things God had made, the plants and the fruits and the flowers and the beasts and the birds, and would speak together of his love and goodness. The work of the creation was finished in 6 days, and on the 7th day the Lord rested from all his work. The Lord looked at the earth and at the happy, loving pair in the garden, and he saw that all of his work was very good. He rejoiced over it, and all the heavenly host rejoiced with him. In just 1 week, God created everything. He's that powerful. That's all for this time, but I hope that you'll come back and join me again. And until that time, happy reading.